I took Mikey to the safe house by bike, and he keeps yelling his rants. I told him we should stop for snacks. While resting, he asked if his papa messaged yet. I said no, he's just probably busy. He wanted me to call him to check in, but I said I can only call for emergency. Meanwhile, back in the hotel, the bomb exploded, and followed by Madame Levigne's men with guns. Gabriel's team went out from hiding and fought back as it needs to end it quickly before the police and the firemen came. How did this plan go to shit so quickly? Madame Lavigne uttered while hiding. Gabriel found her and hired at her. Madame was curious why he did not aim at her when he can and only gave a warning shot. So Madame called out her men for retreat. Nika was disappointed that Gabriel let them go, but Gabriel said they've made their point already. Meanwhile, we still haven't heard anything, which makes Mikey more upset. Mikey realized everything. That's his papa don't want him to be the next mafia boss. That's why I'm distracting him into art class. To distract him, I thought of something. Can I tell you a secret, Mikey? The truth is, I grew up just like you, mafia family and all. Mikey was shocked upon hearing it. I've never told anyone that. Do you think you can keep it a secret? Mikey made me a pinky swear and he asked, what does my family do? I said they move jewels, money, that sort of thing. And one night, they were murdered. Mikey yelled and asked me who did it. It doesn't matter. Everyone's reason for killing is the same. Revenge goes in circles, through whole generations. Just look at what's happening to your papa right now. Someone thinks he did something wrong, so they attack him. Then, he attacks back. It only ends when one side is destroyed. I told Mikey I never wanted that to happen to him. And then Mikey remembered what happened to his mama. I also tried to explain to Mikey that it's not that his father didn't believe in him. He just keeps him far away from anything that will hurt him. But Mikey cried thinking his papa is hurting, that's why he want to be there for him. Oh Mikey, you already make him better, that's no doubt. After the fight, Gabriel was checking the head count, and they noticed Cassiel is missing. They found out that Cassiel is working with Madame Lavigne, and Gabriel realized he saw the tracking app he puts on Mikey. He immediately tried to call me, but the call can't go through. Meanwhile, I was reading Mikey a bedtime story when someone knocks on the door. I checked who is it, and it was Cassiel. What is he doing here? He said Gabriel sent him to collect Mikey. Mikey comes out excited and asked how's his papa. Cassiel said he's fine and he will take Mikey with him. I grabbed Mikey and told Cassiel that Gabriel didn't notify me. When I checked my phone, there is no network, which is strange because it was fine earlier. A service outage. Mikey, get his bag and let's go, papa is waiting. I immediately said no, this isn't the protocol your father and I discussed. I'm sorry, but if Mr. Angelini can't reach me by phone, he will have to come retrieve Mikey himself. I told Cassiel, fine, sure, I'll let him know. He replied and took off. Why would he send someone else when he was so adamant about concealing this location? I don't like this, maybe we should move locations. But if there's no signal, papa can't track me, right? He asked. That's true, but I told Mikey his papa wills how up before he know it, and I put Mikey to sleep, one of us should. Meanwhile, Cassiel and his men are planning for their entry to the safe house. They jammed the cell service in our vicinity so Gabriel can't contact us. And I can't get backup, and he ordered his men to take us out. While Mikey is sleeping, I saw a shadow of men lurking in the window. He tried to enter, but I blocked it and fired a shot at him. Suddenly Mikey yelled, there is another man. I fired at him but I was too late. I got shot too. Mikey ran towards me and I covered him as we wait in case there is another gunman. Suddenly the door opened. I immediately pointed a gun but it was Gabriel. Mikey ran towards him crying, I'm here. That was the last word I hear before I passed out. Gabriel asked who did this. Mikey said I already got him. I weakly uttered it was Cassiel. Gabriel cried as he came so close to losing Mikey, but Mikey said he was fine and that I was here with him. You are the best decision I've made in years, Gabriel said. At that time, I'm just glad we're here. Adam watched over us as we wait to the doctor. Mikey then said he will be here for Gabriel no matter what, even if he won't make him the underboss, even if he never become the Don, as long as they are together. Gabriel burst into tears upon hearing those, together, just the three of us. I woke up in a hospital after what happened in the safe house. My phone rings, which is strange because this phone usually blocks private callers. Davina, I was shocked to hear Mrs. Bremerton on the line. Why haven't you turned in an incident report? I tried to ask what does she mean, but she interrupts, don't prevaricate. Your profile flagged in our system when you were admitted to a hospital. Adam said it was a private hospital. But Mrs. Bremerton replied nothing is private from Enna. She reminded me about Enna's policy on our safety, so I made my report. To my understanding, a member of the Angelini family betrayed Gabriel to the French mob, hoping to inherit his position when he was killed. When he learned I had taken Mikey away from the fighting, he tracked us to the safe house. Two hitmen attempted to kill my charge. I neutralized the threat, but I've sustained an injury to my abdomen, and I'm expected to make a full recovery. This man, is he still at large? Mrs. Bremerton interrupted. She wanted to take charge of the situation, but I said I can handle it. Davina, I'm not speaking as the headmistress now. Are you in danger? She asked. I openly said yes, but that's why I'm needed here. There is something rotten in this family. Likely, more than one thing. My principal claims his wife is dead, but I can't confirm anything beyond when she went missing, which was over a year ago. I know they didn't see eye to eye on their son's position. I also know there's bad blood between the Don and his nephew that flows both ways. Gabriel was supposedly sent to Lyon to further the Angolini Empire, but his actions muddy the water. He knows the game but makes obvious missteps. I haven't yet uncovered his ultimate goal. All of this complicates my ability to guard Mikey, but there's no one else. I'm the only person in his life whose sole responsibility is to keep him safe. If I step aside, I understand your feelings, but you must not forget the danger to yourself. She said, Enna's code, this isn't about risks taken in the line of duty. You, Davina, are uniquely vulnerable, Mrs. Bremerton said, and worried if they will discover our past. But they won't find anything. I buried it too deep, and I will be careful. I'm certain I don't have to remind you of the rules regarding client relations. Your voice softens when you speak of him, Davina. No, it's not like that. Perhaps I sympathize with him, but I can't finish my sentence since she interrupts. Watch your back, my child, and watch your heart. Try to go easy on the fractured ribs. Yes, ma'am. I'm glad she's on my side. As we ended the call, Mikey opened the door rushing and showed me some drawings he made for me so I won't look on fake stock picture in my room. I thank him and said he's thoughtful on making an art for me and that makes me happy. But he looks upset saying I was here because of him. That's true. If you hadn't warned me someone was behind me, I'd be finished. But instead I'm here, alive and smiling. Thank you, Mikey. He was teary-eyed but he must be ashamed and so he rushed out. Right from that Gabriel came in and asked how did it go with the headmistress. Did he hear anything? Surely not, if he's asking how it went. I just said she was worried about my injury. He is confused on how she know it, but I replied Enna knows everything. But I assured her I had it under my control. I said to him with a smile, do you often lie like that, Davina? These two devils. Check the playlist for the next episode of the Mafia Nanny. Gabriel and Nika went back to the hotel and some police came for an investigation. The hotel manager said he didn't see what happened and so he doesn't know anything. They asked for the security footage and he said it was compromised. The police called in Gabriel. He interrogates Gabriel if he is the target of the attack. But he said he wished he would know such a thing. And he was out of town during the incident. The police are suspicious and said he will be verifying it. Mikey and I went back to the hotel too. We entered the hotel and it was chaotic. It's important for him to see this part. Mikey was worried upon seeing the aftermath, and so I told him we can help with the cleaning. I am glad Mikey warned me. If I hadn't turned at the moment, it could have been so much worse. Gabriel came in and handed me a bandage for my wounds. I can't figure out where I stand with him. That night in the safe house, he could have moved me to the bed or let Adam monitor me. But he held me until the doctor arrived. Why was it just out of gratitude? Davina, are you really alright? After everything he said, he looks at me differently now. Is it because I can never tell what he's thinking. I'm fine. Please don't worry about me any longer. Like the headmistress said, can't afford any distractions. When he left, Val knocks on the door. She helped me with my bandage. Even though I kept my word in keeping Mikey safe, she is still suspicious of me, but she said I'm not on top of her list now. We need to find Cassiel and make him pay. Well, I'm way ahead of you. I already found him. Today Mikey and I will help with the cleanup. Heading down, Gabriel said as we passed by him and Nika. I went close to them and dropped a paper. Let me know if there's anything else I can do, I said as I left. Nika was shocked to see it's a location of Cassiel from an hour ago. How scary, he said. Good idea asking Davina. But Gabriel said, that's just it, I didn't ask her. Nika planned when they can get him, but Gabriel said he need to talk to the Levignans. Mikey and I started helping with the cleanup. Well, more like I helped with the cleanup since he is just standing and ranting. Suddenly a police came close and asked a couple of questions. He asked if I worked at the hotel, but I replied I'm a long-term guest. The sooner it's cleaned up, the sooner our lives can go back to normal. But the police whispered nothing normal about living in a hotel, though is there? Suddenly Mikey steps in. Davina, what are you talking to him for? He yelled. I had a bit sermon to Mikey of being a bit rude. The police asked if he is my charge. I said yes and he won't be answering any questions. But Mikey glared at the police saying I won't either. The police felt suspicious, but I said the kid is just cranky. I grabbed Mikey and tried to pull away, but he resisted and hit my wounds. Mikey suddenly realized and said he's sorry. I just pretend nothing because the police is watching. As we go away, the detective noticed I am injured but hiding it. and that kid looked ready to kick him in the shin, and thought we are involved. Meanwhile, Gabriel and Madame Lavigne meet up. She asked why Gabriel didn't kill her when he had a chance when they attacked them at the hotel. You have a son, Gabriel responded, and that made Madame angry and warned him not to threaten her son. Gabriel added he didn't believe she will target Mikey too. Madame replied that she knew Mikey isn't in the building as Castle told her. Upon hearing it, Gabriel gets angry and he asked Madame if Castle also told her that we eat at the restaurant every 6 p.m. Madame Lavigne was angry too upon hearing it because Castle said he eats with his men, and that she had no intention of hurting Mikey. Madame Lavigne asked how's Mikey, and Gabriel said Mikey is fine, and that's the only reason Madame Lavigne is still alive. To repay, Gabriel wants her to give Cassiel to him, and Madame agreed to retrieve Cassiel and turn him over to Gabriel as a gesture of reconciliation.